Shri Guru Charana Padma.
Foot bathing.
Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swami.
Better than mine.
Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shrivasadi Gaur Bhaktivinoda. Jai Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Hare 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 Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Krishna Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram. चरण पद्मा केवल भक्ति सद्मा बंधु मुनि सावधाना बंधु मुनि सावधाना हरा प्रसादे भवा तुरिया जा कृष्ण प्राप्ति हो कृष्ण प्राप्ति हो गुरुमुख पद्मावत्याम हित के तोरी ज्ञान अरुणा तोरी हो माने तोरी हो माने गुरु चरण से उत्तमागति जे प्रसाद पूरे सर्वा आशा जे प्रसाद पूरे सर्वा राम बोलो जय जन्मे जन्मे प्रभु सैया सक्षुराम बोलो जय जन्मे जन्मे प्रभु सैया दिव्य ज्ञान हृदय प्रकाशित दिव्य ज्ञान हृदय प्रकाशित भक्ति जहाँ होते अविद्या विनाशा जाते प्रेम भक्ति जहाँ होते अविद्या विनाशा जाते जय जय गाय हर चरण जय जय गाय हर चरण तेरा दीवाना नाथ तेरा दीवाना गया के हो मोरे साथ छाया प्रभु को गया के हो मोरे साथ छाया शुक्र भुआना शुक्र भुआना Prabhupada tika parana Gurudev Sharana Prabhupada 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 Jai Prabhupada Jai Gurudeva Jai Gurudeva Jai Gurudeva Jai Gurudeva Nita Gora Hari Bol Nita Gora Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Nita Gora Hari Bol
Jai, Jai Om Vishnupada, Paramahamsa, Parapacharya, all the fellows of the Srimad, His Divine Grace Savaya Dharma, Rashtrana, Goswami Maharshi Prabhupada Ki Jai, ISKCON Founder Acharya, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai, Anantakoti Vaishnava Ki Jai, Namacharya Shri Thakur Jai. Friends say, oh, Sri Krishna Chaitanya, Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita Gadadhar, Shri Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Gajana, Shri Shri Radha Krishna, Gopi Gopinath, Shri Mukund Radha Kunda, Giri Govardhan, Vrindavanam, Jai, Shuram, Jai, Swami, Jai, Yamunamai Kajai, Shivati Vlasadevi Kajai, Samaveda Bhakta, Vrinda Gijai, Go Premananda Hari. All glories to assembled devotees, all glories to assembled devotees, all glories to assembled devotees, all glories to Shri Guru Gauranga Shilopad Gijai, Krishna Krishna Prasaya. Udale Srimati Bhaktivedanta Swami Nityanamani Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharya Namaste Srimati Prashtat Deja Tarni Prabhupada
Jai. Oh, Jai.
So,
I'll give you this.
I have my own microphone.
Oh, of course. Oh my gosh.
Independent.
You have to connect it there. No, it's good. Sorry, Bluetooth.
No, I don't.
You don't connect it. It's good.
All right.
Oh, there's an amplifier in the guitar. That's pretty cool. We can tell you that. Yeah.
Hare Krishna. Can I hear what you mean?
Yes.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Okay. The guitar. Guitar works. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Well, let me just change this. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Is that loud enough?
Yes.
Yes. All right. So maybe I'll have a kirtan first.
Yes.
If that's all right. Guitar strings are reverberating.
No, perfect.
No prashad.
No, perfect. No cartel, no cartel.
No cartels, no. I hope everyone's teeth will be all right with this.
Oh,
This is the hardest Mysore pak I've ever seen in my life.
She did a lot of work, man.
So, are there any dentists in the house? Who made it?
Divya go become.
Oh, do you? Sorry. It's very nice.
It's very good. She really tried very hard. But it's sweet.
It's sweet. We just put something on top of it.
What do we have Oh, right. Okay.
Okay, so maybe we'll have a kirtan first, and then we'll speak a little bit after that. If that's all right. So we'll have to stand up for the
Oh,
kirtan
yes. Dance.
and dance.
That's right.
We're just doing this thing.
It's got a built-in tuner as well.
Hey. Hey, all right. You ready? You still play with your bass?
Yeah.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. One, two. What's wrong? Sound. Something's better. Namo Krishna 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 Jale Shivate Bhakti Vedanta Top Mary Krishna Krishna Shivate Bhakti Jana Chaitanya Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, oh come on, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare
Glory is the assembled devotees. Glory is the assembled devotees. All glory is the assembled devotees. All glory is to Shri Guru and Gauranga. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Let me use the other microphone now. Turn this off.
Jai.
All right. It's kind of hot there.
Yes. All that dancing with it.
Is that on? Yeah. Oh.
Actually, Hare Krishna. Gurudev was very, it was
Oh, good to see you.
saying how beautiful
I love the sweets.
beautiful. He said it was beautiful.
So hot.
It's hot. Yeah, we just got the aircon.
All right. So, a good warm up. So Umagana Tivaranda Shagananjana Shalakaya Chakshur Urmilitam Yena Tasmai Shigaling Maha. I offer my respectful obeisances unto the lotus feet of my spiritual master's divine grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, who so kindly opened my eyes with the torch light of knowledge, while I was blinded in the darkness of ignorance. So it is very, very nice to see everybody here.
It's nice to see you, Gurudev.
It's been a long time, about 6 months or so. Some of you I saw in Govardhan.
Yes, Gurudev.
That was nice. Govardhan is my home. For those of you who don't know where Govardhan is, it's about 3 hours out of Delhi. And it's the topmost pilgrimage place anywhere, and the head of Govardhan is Radhakund and Shyamkund, which is the topmost of the topmost. So we are very fortunate that Krishna has blessed us with residency in Govardhan. So I thank Krishna for that every day, and also I thank Krishna for everything he's done for all of you and for me. Every day to me is Thanksgiving, because life is so blissful. Now, of course, material life, if we just concentrate on the body, it's not so blissful anymore. But serving Krishna is so blissful. And the way to get detached from this material life is to actually get attached to Krishna. And the way to get attached to Krishna is to get attached to Krishna's devotees. I was just reading in the plane coming here, Lord Kapila Dev's instructions to his mother Devahuti. Very interesting part, third canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. Because Lord Kapila Dev is an incarnation of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and he taught Sankhya Yoga. Sankhya basically means counting or analysis of the material elements. And so his mother, of course, his mother was married to Kardama Muni, and Kardama Muni had taken sannyas. And so she approaches Lord Kapila Dev and says, Sanskrit, Nirvana, that I am sick of the disturbances caused by these senses. So please become my transcendental I. She asked her son, because her son is God. And actually it's interesting too that in the Vedic system, the husband protects the wife, and then later on the son protects the wife. And not his wife, but his mother. His mother. And when the girl is young, she's protected by the father. So this way, Vedic system means the girls are always protected. Nowadays, of course, in the Western world, is just all hell breaks loose. But that's another subject matter. So anyway, so she approaches her son, and she says, I want fearlessness. And you become my transcendental I, and I'm sick of the disturbances caused by the senses, so please tell me how to become Krishna conscious. And she tells him, which is very interesting. She said, the same attachment that we have for material things, if we transfer it to spiritual personalities, sadhus, they're called sadhus. The word sadhu is interesting. It means someone who is absorbed in sat. Sat means the eternal nature of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, particularly the personal nature. Satchidananda Vigraha. So, he says one transfers the attachment, and even if one has so many other anarthas or attachments within this world, one doesn't really have to worry about them because they go away naturally by transferring your attachments like that. So my experience is that because somehow or other I've transferred my attachment to Srila Prabhupada, that everything's going well. Krishna conscious wise, of course. Old age is still there. It's not that I could blame Krishna for that one, because Krishna actually warns me about it in the Bhagavad Gita. Dukkhalayama Shashvatam, said, Janma Mitru Jira Vyadi, Dukkha Doshana Darshana. He says, this is the nature of life. Of course, when I first joined the Krishna conscious movement, I didn't believe that verse. I thought, no, Jara, old age, isn't it? Birth is okay, Janma, which is okay, but not for me. I will not die. Everyone else will die. I'm going to go to everyone else's funeral and bless everyone and get everyone's inheritance. But not me. So I thought many of those verses were nice and applied to everybody else except for me. But we've learned that these are the miseries of this material world. And of course, nowadays, I know someone who's passing away and dying every week. So if I was to go to funerals, that's all I would do with my life. Funerals, sometimes I visit Fiji or I visit here, and I said, where am I not devotee? Well, he's visiting the funeral. His grandfather, uncle, aunt, or something passed away. I said, well, if I had to make that my service, I wouldn't be able to do anything else. I just do the funeral visiting. So anyway, we're so attached to this body and so attached to our identification, so attached to being a sannyasi. No, not really. But I'm just speaking this in a teaching way. It's called a rhetorical way. So we have all these attachments. So my experience is that we become attached to someone like Srila Prabhupada, and then all success is there at that particular point. And amazing things happen. Just like I was on the plane coming here, and when I was young, even as a young devotee, I'd be very attracted to watching the science fiction movies, especially Star Wars. Unfortunately, we didn't have Star Wars this time. But anyway, but now there's no attraction at all to those things. And I just picked up the Bhagavatam and read the Bhagavatam. And the only movie I saw was on this very nice headset I have, my VR goggles, by the mercy of the Vaishnavas here. So I saw part of the Mahabharata. That was interesting too, seeing Shantanu getting very attached to Ganga Devi and then to Sashavati. So I learned a lesson from that. It was so interesting that Shantanu, he was so attached to Ganga Devi that he allowed her to kill 7 children. Can you imagine how great that attachment is? How many of you would watch your wife kill 7 children and still love her? What do you think?
Yeah, it's
No. I need a divorce here. This is not practical. You'd probably call the police or something on it. She killed children like that. But he's so attached. And finally he says stop, and then she goes away. And then while she's away and he's waiting for Bhishma to come back, he's just crying the whole time. The poor guy, material attachment. He's a king, he has everything he needs. And the whole time he's thinking, Ganga Devi, wherefore art thou, Ganga? That's Shakespeare. Everywhere he looks, he's like a devotee, everywhere you look you see Krishna. Isn't it? Yomam Pashati Sarvatra Sarvam Shri Pashati. That one sees everything in Krishna, sees everything in Ganga Devi. So he's going to the river every day, the Ganges River, and just looking at her, when is she coming? When is she coming? When is she coming? Oh my God. Finally, Bhishma comes, so that sort of pacifies him a little bit. And then he runs into Satyavati, and he just
And the Mahabharata is really interesting. It describes that she got the benediction from Vyasadeva to smell very nice. So she's known as Gandha Yojana. Gandha Yojana means for 8 miles, good smell, no perfume. So anyway, so he meets her, and her father, Matsuraj, king of the fishermen, right? Is that how you say in Hindi too? Matsuraj? Kingfish. So Matsuraj, it says no, she has to, her son has to become the next king. And he goes into a state of deep depression. It's an interesting story. Why was she born, or why did she appear, or why did she apparently be the daughter of a fisherman? That's an interesting point. I actually found out the reason for that. The reason for that is that there was this nice person named Jarasandha, who was a demon, and he knew that Vyasadeva was going to appear, and so he knew the mother of Vyasadeva was going to be the son of King Vasu, the daughter of King Vasu. So King Vasu actually hid his daughter. It's an inside story. He hid his daughter in a fisherman's village, so that Jarasandha, who was a demon, would not kill the girl to prevent the appearance of Vyasadeva. So anyway, getting back to the story. So he is so depressed. I mean, he's crying. And of course, there's no psychiatrist at that point to take care of him. Where's our psychiatrist? Is he here? No, he's not here.
Should be on the.
He didn't get here yet. So there was no Prozac or anything.
No problem.
Yeah, that's a...
Yes,
So there was nothing. And he's crying, and he's all every day, and Bhishma's just like, really, oh, what's happening with Daddy? And finally he goes to the fisherman and vows not to get married, and he vows not to become the king. And so the father's very happy with him, and he blesses him with life as long as he wants to live. I mean, you all know that story.
Yeah.
But the main point is this, all this attachment. Oh my God. It's unbelievable. And you see how attached people are. This is not only, Mahabharata story. Everyone's like that in this world. Everyone's attached. I got attached to my guitar. So, no, not really. Well, I like to play it, but it's not that I'm going to go crazy about it. Something happens with the guitar and I can start crying and be depressed. Just go on with life. As long as I can chant Hare Krishna. So the point is, if we get attached to someone like Prabhupada, then everything else is not so significant. Whatever else happens in this world, and then of course, we get a little upset or whatever, but it's just like we go on with life. People like us, people don't like us. Like we're here, people do this Guru Puja and everything like that. So, but even if you all threw stones at me, it's not so good. So, don't do that. They say, sticks and stones will break my bones, but names will never hurt me.
Yes.
But even if you all just called me bad names, I'd still be happy. Don't try it. But, because I have Prabhupada and I have Krishna, I have Krishna's holy names. And chanting is just so sweet. Like Rupa Goswami says, we pray for millions of unlimited mouths and tongues so we can chant Krishna's holy names. So that's the solution. So how does one get, so here's another point. How does one get attached to someone like Srila Prabhupada? Whoops. How does one get attached? It's very easy. Well, first of all, you get to know the person. That's why I recommend that new devotees, old devotees do. First of all, read Prabhupada's biography and listen to his classes. Because by doing that, you will understand how to execute devotional service. Because Prabhupada is an acharya. Acharya means someone who sets an example and preaches nicely. Pracharya. And so you listen to him, you get to know him, you hear about his life. You know, just like, actually, another video I watched, because they have these very nice goggles. It's nice, you just separate it, you put them on, technology. You put them on and the whole world disappears. You're with Krishna. So there I am on the airplane. And the stewardess is saying, "Are you okay, sir?" No, actually, the stewardess actually said, "You're the best customer I ever had." And the reason was, I never asked for any food. I never asked for anything. Yeah, they'd come around, "Do you want anything, sir?" "No, I'm fine." "No, I'm fine." So they said, "You must be a yogi." But little did they realize I had this giant bag of food. And pokies, so yogi. So anyway, so another video I watched was this old video about Prabhupada called the Acharya. I don't know if anyone's seen that.
Yes.
It was done in the 1970s. 70s or 81 or something like that. Some of the early days. And everyone there, oh my God, brothers, everyone is so young. Oh my God. Mukunda Maharaj is a little boy. You ever see that video?
Yeah, I've seen.
You know, Mukunda Maharaj, my good friend, he's just like, oh my God, he's a little boy. It was really amazing. Anyway, so watching that, and it was about Prabhupada. It's just like, so I was on the plane, and tears are coming to my eyes, because I was thinking how wonderful this is. So that's the point. We hear about someone, and then above that, we follow their direction and serve them. We serve Prabhupada's mission. I mean, actually, our love for Prabhupada is tested by, first of all, how we cooperate with each other. Prabhupada said that. And then also how we're dedicated to Prabhupada's mission. Prabhupada indicated in the Upadeshamrita, that's the nectar of instruction, that if one doesn't fall down and is dedicated to spreading Krishna consciousness, Prabhupada defined that as Uttama Adhikari. Found that, it's a functional definition. It's called a functional definition. So one has to be dedicated to Prabhupada's mission. So another point is, what is Prabhupada's mission? That's interesting. You know, many people are just thinking, well, Prabhupada's mission is to build more buildings, more temples, like that. But it's not like that. Because the whole purpose, that's just a strategy. But what is the mission statement? Prabhupada's mission statement. Of course, you could go to the different things that Prabhupada wrote. But it's basically, when you get down to it, you drill down, it's more devotees and happier devotees. Prabhupada even said to a temple president many years ago, that your business, the business of the temple president, is make sure everyone is jolly and getting enough prasadam. Two things. Jolly and getting enough prasadam. And another thing Prabhupada said was interesting. He was instructing a devotee about their priorities. He says, your first priority is good health. Did you know that? Then Sanda. I'm surprised. Because Prabhupada was concerned with the devotees. You know, Vaishnava Seva. Like Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mission. Vaishnava Seva, Namaruchi, isn't it? Jivadoya. Like that. So our mission is to bring more people in a deeper way to Krishna's lotus feet, rather than Krishna's lotus feet. And whatever we have to do that, we should do it. Whether it's building temples, or it may not be building temples. Whether it's doing home programs, or big programs, or doing Rath Yatras, or internet preaching, or whatever. So in other words, we have to be strategic to accomplish our mission. Our mission is not to control devotees. Our mission is not to have a lot of followers, Nitanam, Nijanam, Nisundarim, Kavitamba, Jagadishi Kamaye. And if one has that mission, then one's personal spiritual life becomes developed very, very quickly. And if you try to do it without that mission, it's a very long process. If you're just concerned, let's say you're just concerned with yourself and becoming a gopi or something. A gopi. You'd make a nice gopi. Of course, your wife might have some objections. Be like that story in the Mahabharata. Anyway, I'll tell the story. So anyway, where two girls married each other. So anyway, instead of just thinking, my own spiritual advancement, then it takes a long time. How to get rid of this anartha, how to get rid of that anartha. You just serve the mission, become attached to Srila Prabhupada, and then it's easy. It's actually quite easy. That's been my experience. You don't have to learn billions of mantras, become so expert in Sanskrit. You don't have to give millions of dollars. You can't buy your way back to Godhead. Sometimes people think like that. I was like the Catholic Church. They had this thing of selling indulgences. You could pay some money and you get a certificate saying you're going back to Godhead. Sometimes it's like that. I mean, sometimes people raise money for temples like that. That if you buy one brick, you're going back to Godhead. I mean, I would do that immediately. Whatever I had to do to buy a brick. It doesn't work like that. Oh. More nice Vaishnava. So, we simply have to be compassionate, Jiva-dvaya, and bring people to Prabhupada's society. And then all success is there. You'll become a pure devotee. Guaranteed. As long as you follow regular principles to chant your rounds every day, then you'll be happy. As I often say, and I've said it here before, that my Krishna consciousness is so nice, it's so happy that sometimes I think it's illegal. I'm afraid the police are going to come in one day and say, we'll give you a ticket. I'm too happy. Just like when I first got my Tesla, that was material happiness. And then I saw these flashing lights behind me. And he pulled me over, he said, you're too happy. I said, well, I'm just trying to keep up with the traffic. And he said, there was no traffic. There's Krishna. He has a nice haircut. Anyway, so that's my message for tonight. It's nice to be here with everybody. And thank you for the welcome. And just remember this. More devotees, happier devotees. Happier devotees means more Krishna consciousness. That's a good way of saying deeper devotees. Happier, dedicated devotees, and more. Whatever you got to do. Be a little rebellious. Where's our rebel? Where's she? She just came in. Okay, let her come. Here it is. So be a rebel. I mean, like you say, Krishna Leela, you should listen to this lecture later on. It's on the internet, YouTube. So, just like you see the devotees who are most successful in spreading Krishna consciousness, they were a little rebellious. Like you have someone like Tamal Krishna Maharaj. He was very competitive, very rebellious. I mean, and Prabhupada just gave him that scope. So please cooperate. We cooperate, but at the same time, we know our mission. And we have very little time, all of us, not just me. All of us have very little time in this world. We don't, especially the way the world is now, you don't know what's going to happen from day to day. You may think you're in Australia, you're safe if something happens between China and the United States. Don't bet on it. The U.S. has submarines coming here that are based in Australia, so don't think that the bombs aren't coming for you. People often think that there's atomic war, Australia's the safest place. No, there's no safe place in the material world. We have so limited time in this world. Every second we have to take to bring people to Krishna consciousness. And the more people we bring to Krishna consciousness.
Search the web for that. Just tap the search chip below.
Oh, should I trigger it? Okay, Google. Tell me about Krishna. I gotta be careful, my own phone is gonna start.
My phone will do that.
So that we have very little time. All of us. It's like an emergency. And not only personally, but we may only meet someone for one time, and that's an opportunity to give them Krishna consciousness. So we don't want to lose the opportunity, lose the time, waste the time. And so that way we become very dear to Krishna. We become naturally detached from this world, not in a negative way, but naturally nirupeksha, just disinterested in this world, and then just happy. That's the secret. That is the secret of Krishna consciousness. And if you're so much into controlling bureaucracy, you're just going to be miserable. Just controlling things, you have to be the boss. Okay, be a rebel. Where's our rebel?
Krishna.
Did you hear that, Krishna? No. She didn't hear. She heard it?
Be a rebel.
Be a rebel for Krishna. Of course, always listen to your guru.
And your husband.
No, husband should listen to the wife.
Only for rebel, not wife.
The wife is called Patni Guru.
No, she's not listening.
Are you listening, Prabhu? Are you two listening?
I'm listening.
So anyway, that's humor. But just no, we cooperate with the devotees. We have a wonderful, loving relationship. Tatati pratigranati guyamatyati pratirati. But at the same time, we have our mission in life, and we have so little time to accomplish it. Because we don't know when we're going to lose the ability, the facility, whatever. We don't know. A devotee doesn't want to waste even a moment. All right, so let's see. Any questions or comments? Yes.
Gurudev, I love the way you just explained how to really simplify this. It's that more devotees and happy devotees.
Yeah.
And not not learning so many Sanskrit shlokas and do this and that.
Yeah.
But still we find there's administration, some of these
It's necessary.
administration is creating some, those, not hurdles.
Well,
but,
it's necessary. Administration,
Yes.
administration is necessary to facilitate.
Yes.
Yeah. Administration and some bureaucracy is absolutely necessary. But there's the tendency for too much bureaucracy,
Yeah.
too much centralization. I remember, here's something when Prabhupada was present. And there was one devotee, actually two devotees in the United States, who wanted to centralize all the temples, one central treasury for all the temples in the United States. And Prabhupada got really upset. He said, this will destroy individual initiative. One initiative, day too, same thing. So Prabhupada wanted each and every center of the United States to be separate. Also, there were legal reasons for that. You know, any temple got sued, and the other temples were destroyed. So Prabhupada appreciated that, and the devotees who were most dynamic, Prabhupada appreciated the most. Like Tamal Krishna Maharaj, he was pretty dynamic. No one could control Tamal Krishna Maharaj. You know, Prabhupada finally sent him to China. But nobody could control him. And Prabhupada, he made so many devotees. I mean, we see that sort of dynamic there. And Prabhupada, he was a rebel. You know, he was told by his godbrothers, what? You just stay in the temple and be nice. Don't create any waves. You know, if we ever get any money, then maybe we can print your books. And if we ever get any money, someone can go overseas. But right now, just cool down, Charan. That's what they told Prabhupada. And Prabhupada said, hell no. And what did Prabhupada do? We start, even though we had no facility, no money, no followers, Prabhupada just went off on his own, stayed first in the Vamsi Gopal temple in Vrindavan. You may not know that. That was before Radha Damodar. And also had a temple in Delhi too. And he produced magazines, distributed magazines. Then someone told him you should print books that has more impact. So then Prabhupada printed his books. Prabhupada himself single-handedly went to America. Nobody was assisting him, paying for his passage. I mean, Sumati Moorji gave him free passage. No one gave him a whole bunch of money to carry with him. No one gave him anything. Nothing. Prabhupada came to America with nothing. A few rupees that he couldn't change, and books. And that was it. And that's rebellious. Prabhupada did not accept no. Because Prabhupada knew he had his mission for his spiritual master. And he knew that all these souls were there. And he knew if he didn't do it, there was no one else who was going to do it. And so Prabhupada did it. And he was criticized. Oh, you were successful because you liked dealing with all the malachas. You know, people, godbrothers criticized him. And then when he tried to buy land in Mayapur, many of the godbrothers stopped him, tried to stop him. Finally, Tamal Krishna Maharaj had to buy the land. And so there was all sorts of political intrigue. When the Gaudiya Math, they were fighting each other over the material assets, over the temples. That's what I said. Prabhupada was interested in making devotees, and Prabhupada built temples to make devotees. Not that Prabhupada made devotees to build temples. We don't make devotees to build temples. We make temples to make devotees. We build temples to make devotees. You gotta get things right. Temples are made for devotees. Yeah. So they're facility for the people. Krishna doesn't have to come down to this world to be installed in the temple. He has plenty of nice Lakshmis. He has plenty of nice Mysore pots there. These are nice. It's really hard.
We'll do the soft version.
What?
We'll do the soft version.
Yeah. I'm accustomed to the Gujarati voice.
Okay. Soft one.
Oh, okay. No, I'm sure these are good for people who have real strong teeth. Yeah, these are good. I'm sure. I'll even take a little taste of it. Even though it's against my opinion. So getting back to the point. So Prabhupada, I mean, look what Prabhupada did. He was personally cooking for all these young people. Some people were eating 20 rotis at one time, and Prabhupada was rolling them all. Prabhupada was bold. He didn't take no for an answer. Prabhupada said, impossible is a word in a fool's dictionary. I was there when Prabhupada said that. Prabhupada said, impossible is the word. He just said, I have my mission. I'm going to accomplish. I want more people to become Krishna. I want to fulfill the order of my spiritual master. And that's how we know Prabhupada is the greatest devotee, because Prabhupada was most dedicated, the person who was most dedicated to the order of the Guru. So that's a perfect example for us. Srila Prabhupada. That's why everyone should study Prabhupada's body. Prabhupada. Leelamrita, there's so many books. Mukunda Maharaj wrote a book about Prabhupada. There's so many books. I'm working with one of my godbrothers, Tejius. Really nice book. He hasn't finished his book yet because he's a little disabled. But he had basically more personal experience with Prabhupada in India than almost anyone else. So all this is just like such nectar hearing about Prabhupada. Okay. So any other questions before we take prasad? Yeah.
Maharaj, I just had one question. Recently I have encountered, I've seen there are very good devotees, husband and wife, they are very, very good devotees. But somehow they got divorced, and I always think if they are like, they are in the same mission, they are there, and then I just had that question, if they both have the same ritual destination, and they both are great devotees, but why these things happen to Maharaj?
I don't know that particular circumstance. However, my recommendation is that people sometimes need counseling to work out, to understand their different needs, because there's always going to be some arguments. You never have a perfect, sorry about this, you never have a perfect romantic situation. It just doesn't exist in this material world. Even Radharani is getting angry with Krishna. Even her associates want to beat Krishna sometimes. So what is so you're expecting some utopia where they just smile at each other for the rest of their lives, Prince Charming kisses girl, or Cinderella comes and he finds her Crocs. You know what the Croc is? Or what is the story? What is the story where the princess kisses a frog? Princess and the Frog. The frog turns into a prince. They live happily ever after. Because what you don't see is fighting with each other. She throws the pots at them sometimes. You don't see that. So there's always, when you're dealing with 2 people, 3 people, whatever, there's always going to be disagreements. But this question of how you deal with those disagreements. You respect each other and you try to find a win-win. And usually the disagreements, even Gandhiji had disagreements with his wife. There's one description of one time he even locked her out of the house. But he never got a divorce from her. So one should be determined. I was determined to stay within Prabhupada's movement because there'll be so many tests. So in the same way, one's determined to chant one's rounds every day, even though there's so many tests, so many other things happening, Maya may go. So people should be determined to stay together, and you call for some if you need professional counseling. We're not against that. And because I don't know that particular situation, so I'm not commenting on those particular individuals.
What I'm thinking, Maharaj, we always do those 10 offenses early in the morning, being a Vaishnava, we shouldn't hurt anyone, I will try not to hurt, even unintentionally. Intentionally, I'm never going to hurt. But when we're thinking about those, I know we're in the materialistic life and all these things, but in either way, those 2 people are hurting each other, but it's against our Vaishnava. Yeah, that's I was thinking, if I'm not conscious about Krishna consciousness, fair enough. But if I do know about Krishna consciousness, then I should think about what will happen. Like, I know I do chanting and everything, but on the other side, I'm doing offense as well by hurting that
That's
person.
right, you put an offense against the Vaishnava.
Yeah, and then if I'm expecting something from that particular person, no matter what, as a Krishna, like a Vaishnava, I shouldn't expect anything. I should be humble to every single person. I should be
That's right.
lower than the.
Yeah, I mean, I agree, and that's how we should deal with each other. We should, like Prabhupada, actually there was a Prabhupada Saraswati said, when we approach people, even people who are not Krishna, we put a straw in our teeth, in a very humble way like that. We shouldn't want to see anyone suffer. I mean, our first priority should be to see people happy. Other devotees happy and people in general. So, like I said, I can't comment. I don't know that particular couple, and I probably don't want to hear their names. But these things happen, but we should be determined to remain in our relationships. There's really no. Anyway, things happen. There's certain circumstances. I mean, sometimes people do like horrible things. Like if someone was a child abuser or something like that, that may be a cause.
Yeah.
So there are certain circumstances where unfortunately, this happens. Actually, in the this is interesting. In the Chaitanya Charitamrita, there's a story about a person named Moga who blasphemed Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And Moga was the son-in-law of Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya. I don't know if you know this story. And Moga was the husband of a girl named Sati, who was the daughter of Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya. So when Moga blasphemed Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Sati's father, was Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, said, "My daughter doesn't have a husband anymore." And later he apologized and he became rectified. Of course, she didn't say get a divorce. He didn't say get a divorce. But still, anyway, in certain circumstances. Like if a woman's married to someone who's torturing them, that's unacceptable. I mean, so we don't really know. Sometimes we don't know what's going on behind closed doors, too. So we have to be careful. I mean, there may be some child abuse or torture, physical torture. Sometimes there are people in the dress of devotees who are actually demons. I'm not saying that case, but it's, Bhaktivinoda Thakur said, sometimes in the Krishna conscious movement there'll be Kali Chelas, disciples of Kali. So I've seen that. I've actually seen that. Even in Krishna's pastime, there was Vatsasura demon, who was a calf. Made believe he was a calf, but he was actually a demon. Also Palambasura, who made sure he made believe he was a coward boy, and Balaram had to kill him. So there's so many stories like that. So is someone an actual Vaishnava? Am I an actual Vaishnava? So we can judge our own self, too, by how we adhere to those standards of compassion and love for others. Okay? Any other questions? Good question. Any other questions before? Yes?
Hare Krishna, Gurudev, Dandavad.
Harival.
Gurudev, what's the best way to preach at workplace? Because not everyone is Indian, you have others,
Yeah.
some who are atheists, who have no belief in God. But is there a way to still get them to even think about God to begin with? Right? Because at workplace, religion and politics is a taboo. You can't.
Oh, you can't.
discuss.
You can't preach.
So, should we even do that, number one? And if there is a way to sort of get them to even think about God and
Yeah.
steer them towards not being atheist, is there?
One has to use discrimination, because if you try to reach out to someone and they're not ready or they're inimical, you can be encouraging them to make more offenses. So you have to use some discrimination in that regard. Usually prasadam is pretty good. You give people some nice sweets. Who's gonna reject this? Isn't it? You give people sweets or... I mean, I remember Prabhupada's sister was married, Bhishma, was married to a guy who was a drunkard, beating her and everything like that. And she just like became a perfect wife, like all of you ladies should be. And then her husband later on became a great devotee. So sometimes if people see that we're devotees and we are perfect ladies and gentlemen, people get impressed. And if we become devotees, we become perfect rakshasas. You know, or we become nasty just because we're devotees. Then nobody's going to take up Krishna consciousness. So, you know, the main thing is be nice, use discrimination, sometimes give a prasadam, and obviously you can't preach to people, hand out books at work or anything like that. But just, people will ask. What I've experienced, and I've done things, of course I don't work, I'm on vacation, but anyway, it's pretty good. Yeah, I retired at the age of 21. So anyway, so what I've experienced, no, I've gone to some, actually quite a few seminars and training sessions, and some of them were like 10-day training sessions where I was the only devotee there. So what did I do? I basically waited, you know, people knew I was a devotee, and I just waited till people asked me questions. Because people have this antipathy towards being preached to anyway. You know, and even people from India, you know, we know it all, you know. I read the Bhagavad Gita, I know it all, you know. I'm a devotee of Durga, you know. You know, so it's hard. But my experience is you wait till people get interested, they see how nice you are. And then ultimately, they ask questions. It depends on the circumstance. But I wait, even when, just like I was talking 2 days ago to a group of university students, I let them ask the questions. I didn't tell them, you know, you're all in Maya, because you're, I don't know if they're reading me. I didn't even ask them. And you know, you have to really be careful without offending people. I mean, nowadays, of course, especially, people are so, there's the political correctness and everything like that. Even when you address young people nowadays, you can't use gender pronouns with them. I don't know if you've ever experienced that.
Yes.
You have to say they. Oh, they are coming, just one person.
Yeah.
I'd like you to meet them. Hello, them. Has anyone experienced that here? Yeah.
Yeah, because I worked for Blacktown Hospital, and
Right.
I need to go outside for assessment,
Yeah.
and then they, instead of calling biologically is person male or female,
Yeah.
but they wish to call them as a they.
They.
They can't call them as a he or she.
Yeah, they get offended.
Yeah, and then like it's very offensive as well, and we need to like do all this. Yeah.
So you just have to be careful, even though I know this is crazy. We should call people he or she, you know, obviously. But still, you know, you don't want to offend people. People are so sensitive now about getting offended. So therefore you're nice to everybody. You tolerate, you know, whatever weirdness they have. And then they see how nice you are, and they start asking you questions. Tell me about Krishna consciousness. I mean, I've had some really amazing conversations, like when people ask me, and they think, wow, what a nice person, he's listening. Because most people don't have someone to listen to that listens to them. Especially in marriages. The wife is always saying, you never listen to me. And then the husband says, you would never have anything good to say anyway. Has anyone heard that before? Yeah.
Never listen.
I
an effective, good listener, Gurudev.
Self-aware, Gurudev.
You talk too much. You read or something like that. But basically people have a need to be heard. And if you are compassionate with them, then you'll bring them closer to Krishna. And they'll think how nice that person was. I remember with Prabhupada, Prabhupada preached, of course, a lot. And people would remember him, oh, we met this nice person, where is he? So, people like loving relationships, and loving relationships begin with Uyamakhyati Prachati. And Unte Bojite Chaiva, which we're going to take Prashadam right now. So I guess it's time for Prashadam. Anyway, thank you all very much. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Srila
Oh, slip down. Haribol, Sachinandan. You coming to breakfast tomorrow?
That's why I came to